Hey Giant Chatters, I'm ML7, and today I'll be discussing about Loki Ultimate Tier List. A lot of you have been asking who are like the good heroes that you can copy, who are the bad heroes that you can copy, advantages, disadvantages, and stuff like that. And in this video, I'll be chatting exactly about my tier list of the heroes that I like copying as, I would say right now, a Loki main. Let's dive right into this. Loki's copy works like this. By the way, Loki guide coming in soon. If you watch this video before the Loki guide is released, just so you know, it's gonna be released in the next couple of days. If not, just like after the guide is released, make sure to check my YouTube channel out. So, Loki's ultimate. I'll explain the ultimate a lot in that guide, but this is what I wanted to show you to extend the duration of the ultimate to the max. So, let's say you copy Luna Snow.
Your powers are mine!
You see this timer, this is the timer for Loki's ultimate, okay? And then a lot of ultimates in this game last a very long time, Luna's ultimate being one of them. So you can do whatever you want here, and now at the end, press your ultimate right before it ends.
I am ready to put on a show!
Luna's ult is 12 seconds, your ultimate just got increased by I think 15 extra seconds afterwards. So you're gonna stay in this copy mode, in your Loki ultimate mode, for a very, very long time. Here's another example with a hero that you can extend Loki's duration by a lot. This is an extreme example, okay? Keep this in mind when I'm gonna do the tier list. Think about like the different types of cooking that you can do with this knowledge.
Powers are mine!
You wait, you take a sip from your coffee. Again, this might not be the optimal gameplay.
There, they're up ahead.
I think editors are gonna make fun of me and keep that part and just skip to this one to show exactly how it is. So I'll press it, waiting, I'll press it, waiting, and let's not wait until the last possible second. Let's use it at, I don't know, 3 seconds remaining. Oh, never mind, no, this is his ultimate. That's why I messed it up first time. So look at this. 8 extra seconds after. You can buy so much time with this. And finally, because I copied a strategist, I copied a vanguard, let me copy a duelist and show you this example here too. Copy storm.
Your powers are mine!
You wait a bit. It's like 15 seconds. You still wait. Cue up waiting music. By the way, in case you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate a subscribe to the channel and a comment and a like to the video. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. Cast your ultimate.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
I'm waiting. I don't think it extends this one.
I
Yes, it doesn't because it's exactly like the same timing. But still,
That's 3!
you can see the potential that his ultimate actually has, you know?
Victory for Loki!
So, Loki ultimate tier list. S tier means huge value, low risk. You'll, I would say, 9 out of 5 cases get a lot of value out of this ultimate, as in you're probably gonna win the team fight with this copy. Like, you'll have a wonderful time doing it. So S tier, look for it as much as you can. A tier, huge value, high risk. You'll see that S tier ultimates are not that explosive at securing team fights. They're more good at, most of them, they're better at, I guess, keeping the fights going because of the huge amount of sustain that you bring to your team. A tier ultimates are more like, you have to win, you copy and you land the ultimate and you try to win the team fight fast. So A tier is huge value, high risk, it might not work every time. B tier, only if you have the vision. What I mean by this is they work in only specific situations. And if you can recognize the scenario, these scenarios I mean, then go for it. But they will not happen every game, every map, every day, every year. C tier, only if you're the GOAT. Now, this is just a copy if you want to flex, or if you feel like you're just going to be aiming incredibly well. And now, you know what? Only if you're the GOAT on these heroes, I recommend copying the heroes in C tier. Misclick, you should almost never do it. I mean, it's a misclick, so it's a mistake. You'll see the heroes I'm going to be putting here, and I'm going to explain exactly why. And please let me copy Loki. I think we're just going to be starting with this one instead of going alphabetically, because let's just get them out of the way. Loki, please let me copy Loki. I think it would be hilarious and also broken at the same time, but maybe they want to do like a meme patch in the future. Copying Loki would be pretty sick. And what if you copy him and then you get your ultimate again? Oh my god, the possibilities. Anyway, Adam Warlock. Only if you have the vision in B tier. Reasons. So here's the thing with Adam Warlock. As you saw, like in the first minute of the video, if you can extend your ultimate for a pretty long time, right? So with Adam, if you die in your passive and you risk yourself up, then you can stay alive on the battlefield for quite a long time. The thing is, though, that you're gonna be playing for reses, you know? So like, let's say 2 or 3 of your allies die, you can copy Adam and go for the rest. But the team fight is 6v6 from the beginning. I don't quite see the point in copying Adam. You might almost always have like better options. Black Panther, B tier, only if you have the vision. I'll admit, I don't play that much melee DPS heroes, so my knowledge over here is not that good. But I feel that if you copy Black Panther, it's only if you feel like you're gonna be popping off with him in team fights, getting good dash resets, being annoying and stuff. So you need like some hours on this hero and have good mechanical skill if you want to get value out of this one. Black Widow, misclick. I think that Black Widow is really weak. This is more of a meme copy. I don't think I've had a single time in which I wanted to copy Black Widow in order to win team fights. I don't think I've ever copied her without misclicking, you know? Like, I don't quite see the point. What is that? Just consistent damage? You better copy another duelist? And the ultimate is meh. So, yeah, I definitely put Black Widow in the misclick tier. Captain America, misclick. Hear me out. You'll see in this tier list that there will be some heroes put in the misclick category, and you're gonna go like, why? They could be in B tier, they could be in C tier. Depending on your expertise on the heroes, of course, like some copies, if you see the perfect scenario, they're all B tier, you know, if you have the vision or higher up. But for the Loki player that I am right now, I would say that I would just misclick a copy on Captain America because his skill potential is pretty low, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around the battlefield and buy time. The problem with buying time as a Vanguard, though, is that why not just copy a strategist and buy time with my ultimate that, you know, heals my team, can do a lot of damage and stuff, instead of just running around the battlefield with not that much kill potential. I'd rather copy other heroes that are gonna be placed in S tier/A tier than I'd copy Captain America in this. Cloak and Dagger, you're gonna see the exact comparison compared to Captain America. S tier, huge value, low risk. Very easy to copy Cloak and Dagger. You can copy and use your ultimate instantly to just make the team fight very hard for your enemies to burst through your entire team. Or you can just like use the trick that I showed you a little bit earlier to extend the team fight and just be annoying, you know? Like, I feel like sustain is the name of the game in season 1, and Loki copies should be more oriented in this season at least towards sustaining your team with a strategist, or towards high explosive damage, or heroes that can set up for high explosive damage combos. Speaking of this, Doctor Strange, B tier, only if you have the vision. I will put out a Vanguard a little bit higher up. You'll see exactly who. I think that copying Doctor Strange is a situation in which you see a lot of enemies lined up, you know, and you go like, oh, I'm gonna land a big ultimate. Like, that is the primary goal if you'd want to copy Doctor Strange. If you want like just stun the enemies and you don't have like the other options that I'm gonna be chatting about, and if your team doesn't need sustain. Oh, one more thing though that I want to chat about. 2 things actually here. 1, I feel like in this season it's a little bit harder landing Doctor Strange ultimates because people just got used to the fact that he's gonna walk up to you, Eye of Agamotto, and then just cast it. Like, you can shield it, you can dodge it. It's quite easy to predict that he's gonna ult that. So if you feel that you're gonna copy Doctor Strange and land a big stun because that's what you need, yeah, definitely copy him. But the situations are very rare. And secondly, I would say that there are other heroes, which is exactly the next hero I'm gonna be chatting about, that can do a way easier job at making sure they're gonna land the combo. Groot is A tier, huge value, high risk. Why? Well, my experience this season, a lot of the fights in which I'm seeing, a lot of the games in which I'm seeing good players, they press Q on 1 or 2 or even more enemies, and then you have a DPS, a duelist I mean, following up with a ton of damage, and you'll be able to burst through defensive ultimates. Heroes like Namor with the ultimate, heroes like Moon Knight, even like a lot of other heroes that do a huge amount of damage in a tight space, and Groot will be able to put all of them together so that you can secure a teamfight win. So copying Groot in order to land an ultimate on the backline that you see the opportunity there, go for it. The problem is, if you miss the ultimate, you're gonna be in this situation in which you're gonna be stuck on a Vanguard and your team is gonna be lacking one strategist, you know, they're gonna be lacking healing resources. So make sure to put in a lot of thought process into copying duelists and vanguards before doing it. A small parenthesis over here. If you play in triple strategist team comps, you can look for more aggressive copy opportunities with Loki on vanguards and duelists. If you play in double support, double strategist team compositions, and your support, your strategist, has their ultimate available, then you can also look for aggressive opportunities. But if you're playing Mantis Loki, and you copy a vanguard or a duelist, you will probably get flamed because everybody's gonna be like, bro, Mantis can't keep us up. But if Mantis has the ultimate, out of discussion. Parenthesis closed. C tier, only if you're the GOAT, I'm gonna have to put HAWKEYE. If you're really good at him, I think that this is, initially I placed him when I was thinking about this in misclick category, but you know what? Maybe you copy him and you land 3 headshots in a row or 2 headshots onto squishies and you just secure the team fight. Because you're gonna have the ultimate instantly too. Just gonna be very easy to do huge bursts of damage. If you're feeling to copy and you're in that situation that I said a little bit earlier and you have huge balls to do it, go for it. HELA is B tier, only if you have the vision. I have done a couple of HELA copies. HELA is like one of the duelists that I'm most comfortable on playing. Played her a lot during the alpha and the beta, and I still enjoy playing her. But I don't think that she's huge value low risk because you might land the shots, you might not land the shots. I don't think she's A tier because you don't have the possibility of helping your teammates line up the shots. She's more of an individual carry copy, if that makes sense, as in you copy her and then you go for the 1v1, you know? You see the scenario, you have the high ground, the enemies are on low ground, you just spam them out, you land the headshots, all good. But why don't I put her in C tier only here and I put her in B tier? Because if you miss your shots, you can extend the ultimate duration, as I showed in the first minute of the video, by just going in your ultimate for him, and that is a big chunk of AoE damage and a lot of time bought for your team with a huge damage done to the enemies. So if you have the vision and you're feeling like copying HELA, go for it. Even if your game is not that good, you can just deny a huge area with her ultimate. Hulk. Misclick. I'm kind of undecided on this one. I'm gonna put him in misclick here. I think he's just gonna buy a lot of time and be annoying on the battlefield. If you feel like your team needs vanguards and be extra tanky and stuff, I'd probably copy one of the other ones that are gonna be putting higher up rather than I'd copy Hulk. Not to mention the fact that if you copy duel, if you use Loki's ultimate, you start with the intention of ulting. You know, I feel like most of the time you start with the intention of ulting. You don't start with the intention of, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna buy time, I'm gonna ult. Well, with Hulk, you just go as Bruce Banner in the beginning. So you gotta wait there, I'm hulking up, and then I gotta transform again, and then, you know what I mean? Like, if you start instantly in Hulk and you'd be able to, like, grab somebody and smack them and stuff, like the poor Jeff players, then sure, go for it. But I have to put him here in misclick. He's just gonna like bounce around most of the times, and you can't even get focused if you're like Bruce Banner before you can't even get in this. Invisible Woman. S tier. Huge value, low risk. Same as CLOAK and DAGGER. You'll keep your teammates alive for a long time. You can set up some pretty huge picks with your boops and stuff. With a ball that you just like make sure everybody's gonna be placed in the center of it. They're gonna get pulled in the center of it, and she just brings like nice amounts of damage. Ultimate is strong, high sustain, huge value, low risk. Just copy Invisible Woman. Iron Fist is B tier only if you have the vision. If you can cook with him and you have the experience on this hero, I think it's gonna be a pain in the ass to deal against. But I would rather just go with more probably range heroes. You know, it just depends on your, I would say B tier depends a lot on your confidence level on the hero. In that case, if you can recognize a scenario in which you gotta copy Iron Fist compared to the other ones, sure. I think it's better than C tier misclick, and please let me copy Loki would be S++, series, but still. Anyway, Iron Man is A tier. Huge value, high risk. You're gonna be like, whoa, wait a second, what do you mean with that? I said a little bit earlier, I feel like in Season 1, the name of the game is high sustain. Double strategist, triple strategist, everybody tanky, you get some RACCOON from time to time with the races and stuff, and like the fights seem to go on forever. Highest tier copies, in my opinion, are the ones that bring you extra sustain, look over here. The ones that make you like stay together, like bring the enemies grouped up so you have an easier time focusing down or like cutting through the sustain. And the heroes that actually bring in the explosive damage. And Iron Man's ultimate is insane at just deleting Luna ultimate, Mantis ultimate, Invisible Woman ultimate. But the thing is, it's high risk because if you copy Iron Man, yes, you have a cast time, but it's still pretty decent. If you miss, then that's a wasted copy. But if you landed on one of the supports, that's one of the strategists that's ulting, or like get 2 or 3 picks, sure, go for Iron Man. Jeff is B tier, only if you have the vision. Oh, here's the scenario I'm chatting about. You see Jeff, or you have your own Jeff. You have your copy. You want to copy him, not for the healing or the bubbles or the mobility or you just being cute on the battlefield. You want to copy in order to nom nom the enemies and throw them off the map. So this is map dependent, even more than map dependent. This is area specific dependent. Because if you're fighting next to a place where you feel like you can throw the enemies off the map, like on Tokyo, I think it's called the map, the spider maps. Then you should go for the Jeff copy if you're feeling it. If you landed on 2 or 3 enemies and yeah, just copy Jeff, chomp them and throw them off the map. Luna Snow is S tier, huge value, low risk, one of the easiest copies to do in the game. This tip applies for every hero. Try to think about what other actions you can do before casting the ultimate, because if you copy somebody and then you just use your ultimate, you're not kind of maximizing the potential of that hero, you know? In case you don't need the ultimate instantly, because everybody's low HP in this case with Luna Snow, when you copied and you want to pop the ultimate. What I'm saying with Luna specifically is, put the E, the Snowflake, I think, ability on somebody, and then you can ult if you feel like it, if you don't want to extend the ultimate a lot. So try to incorporate like more gameplay of that hero rather than just limit the hero to their ultimates. Strong ultimate, even if you don't need the healing, you'll have the damage boost from it, and it's gonna be very annoying for the enemies to cut all of the sustain. Magic is B tier, only if you have the vision, although I wanna do another parenthesis here. I've seen Magic players kind of roll to triple strategist team comps. I'm not kidding, I think she's kind of growing on me with how strong she is. Maybe in a week or 2 or so on, I'd put Magic higher up, but I personally haven't played her that much. I would put here only if you have the vision. I mean, of course I can copy Magic and just ult and chase the supports down. I think it's easier than only if you're the GOAT. I think you can get value out of this copy quite a lot. But make sure that you have your other strategist or strategists, if you're playing with triple strategist team comp, are they're ready to keep your teammates alive, because otherwise you're gonna be lacking a lot of sustain in the fights and your teammates are gonna be upsetty spaghetti. Magneto, A tier, huge value, high risk. Magneto with a holy trinity of abilities, I would say. Like, you have the bubbles, you have the shield, and you have the ultimate. Bubbles are cool because you can just like bubble your teammates, bubble yourself, take space. Shield is also really strong for him, but the ultimate is the highlight of this. I'd put probably Magneto over here. They're not in order of strength, by the way, when I'm doing this tier list, but I'm putting Magneto over here because he can shut down Cloak and Dagger ultimate quite easily. You wait for the third dash, so Cloak and Dagger, they ult, they go 1, they go 2, they go 3, you go boom. That's literally the combo. Not to mention the fact that you might have your own Cloak and Dagger, right? And if you're playing Loki plus Cloak and Dagger, you don't have a Magneto on your team, they have a Magneto, your Cloak and Dagger goes like, I need a bubble or something, copy Magneto, bubble them, you know, on the third dash, and then you can cast your ultimate and follow up with it. So, good utility out of the bubbles, but the ultimate is the highlight in my opinion of this here. This is why I'm putting Magneto in huge value, high risk. I think he's the best Vanguard in the game right now. And if you land a big ultimate, your teammates are gonna go like, let's go. Loki, not Magneto. Mantis. S tier, huge value, low risk, same as the other strategists. It depends on the situation, the one that you want to copy. I would probably go with Mantis one if I want to engage fast and I want more damage compared to the other strategists. Or I just feel like we need an extra stun with my Sedate, I think the ability is called. Can go for it. So this is more of a damage-oriented type of copy of the strategist. If you want to go with more defensive options, you have the previous 3. But if you want to go with this one and you want to maybe secure a lot of kills, I think copying Mantis would result in the highest probability of you achieving that goal. Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic More like Mr. Misclick over here. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, I think this hero is so fun, but I'm putting him in this category with Captain America and where Captain America and HAWKEYE because they are just going... Mr. Fantastic will just bounce around, buy time, and not eliminate anybody. He's not the threat. If you want to copy him, it's just to buy time. And you will buy time. But your team might need some healing in the battlefield, so why not just go with a strategist? Or they might... You know how you counter long team fights in which you don't have that much healing? You copy somebody that has... You end the team fight fast, so you don't need healing in the first place. So you gotta go with a DPS that has more explosiveness other than Mr. Fantastic, who's just gonna haha, ho-ho, haha. So yeah, no, for me, Mr. Fantastic is misclick tier. Moon Knight is A tier. Huge value, high risk. So, everybody's playing group top right now. It's gonna be pretty easy to land your shots. If you're not gonna land the shots, no problem. Throw the Ankh, bounce the projectiles off of it. Easy. But one thing though, start with your ultimate. Either you can wait for one of your teammates to help you set up an ultimate like GROOT ults or Doctor Strange ults and stuff. Or you can just start with your ultimate, throw it in, it does 1 billion damage. And then you might be able to farm a second ultimate with this hero. If you're lucky in that team fight. I think is one of the only heroes that can farm. You have the probability, the possibility in a real game scenario of farming 2 ultimates with one Loki copy. So yeah, Moon Knight is A tier. Moving on, B tier for Namor. Namor is B tier. I was thinking, do I put Namor in A tier similar to Moon Knight? And then I went like, okay, what if I miss my ultimate with Namor? I will just have my targets up and they're okay-ish if I'm playing against dive heroes. But if I want to bring extra damage to the team fight, I'd gotta copy Moon Knight in A tier and just bounce my ultimate and maybe get a chance to get another one. Namor would be A tier for the ult combo, potentially can clean team fights, same as with Moon Knight. But if you miss or you don't have anybody to combo with, I'd gotta pick Moon Knight's neutral game, then Namor throwing the turrets down, the octopuses down, and just playing the team fight in a what I call like the neutral team fight, which is the stage of you fighting without ultimates. This would be a situational one. If you have the vision, I'd put Namor higher up in this case. If the enemies are playing with heroes like Magik, like Spider-Man, heroes that kind of struggle against Namor's turrets. So you gotta cook with this one. Penny Parker. Misclick. Same principle as before. She'll be annoying, she'll buy time, she won't provide sustain for the team. She's gonna buy time, kill potential is there, you can control an area, but I mean, that's about it. You're just gonna be running around this stuff. So if your goal is time and that's it, sure. But other than that, it's gonna be a misclick. You'll get better value out of other heroes, definitely. PSYLOCKE. For me, PSYLOCKE is A tier. Huge value, high risk. Why? The ultimate. Okay, like seriously, the ultimate. I've had games in which I have PSYLOCKE players in my team, or like a lot of players in my team that are afraid, that don't want to use their ult because they know that the enemy strategists have defensive ultimates. Well, no problem, bro. Fine, I copy PSYLOCKE, I double dash in, I press Q, I get no kills, but I make them use one of these ultimates, and then I just get out. You don't have to double dash in. You can just copy PSYLOCKE, dash in, use your ultimate, get the ultimate out, and then you don't even have to stay in the ultimate. You can cancel your ultimate early if you feel like you just need to escape afterwards. Shift away because you have 2 dashes, go in stealth, play a little bit, and then you're back in Loki. So this is really good at forcing enemy ultimates. And if the situation is perfect for you, as in they don't have any way of denying your ultimate, it's a teamfight win. Punisher. I won't punish him and put him in C tier, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Only if you have the vision with Punisher. I mean, if you, by the way, one thing with Punisher, if you go in target form, you do not extend the ultimate duration. Okay, so I think it works with the ultimate if I'm not mistaken, but in target form definitely does not extend the duration of the ultimate. So keep that in mind. If you just need big chunks of damage and you feel like they can't deny your ultimate, copy Punisher. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's about it for him. I gotta go with the other heroes. But he is probably one of the easiest DPSs to copy, easiest duelists to copy. Press Q and then with the others. RACCOON. B tier, only if you have the vision. Okay. I think some of you might go here. I don't know why, but there's a RACCOON hate mode happening right now, and everybody's like, Obsidian Spaghetti, that you have RACCOON players in your team and stuff. But hear me out. We're talking about the fact that RACCOON doesn't bring damage. He needs buff to the minigun, which I agree. Hard to catch. Somebody I think got to high rating without doing damage with RACCOON. The rest is cool. The team up is cool, but whenever I copy RACCOON, I'm not thinking about these. What I'm thinking about is the ultimate. The ultimate is a damage boost. And when your team needs a little bit more that might be all that's necessary for you to win the team fights. The ultimate damage boost will help you win way more fights than you'd expect. So, of course, it's not the optimal one, but in general, if I have to pick out between RACCOON and Jeff and I don't have any other options, then I need to copy a strategist because we need more sustain and the enemies are kind of low, but kind of, we need a little bit of extra. I might actually consider copying RACCOON. You have to cook with him, you have to know exactly when to do it, but there is potential here. I don't think he's that bad of a copy. Scarlet Witch, I'm putting her in B tier. I think there is potential here for this hero. I think when I did the season 1 tier list, it's posted on my YouTube channel, I put her in F tier. I don't think she's that good. I'm seeing some Scarlet Witch being played, specifically because of Magneto team up. You give him like an extra ability with a sword. But we're chatting about the copy aspect of Loki copying Scarlet Witch. You copy her in order to do explosion. That's it. Copy her in order to do explosion. If you have the vision of casting your ultimate fully and getting 2 kills with it, go for it. It's the same principle as copying Iron Man, but a different approach. You know, a different approach. You just copy her for the ultimate, go for the big explosion. Who knows? You might ask for Magneto bubble, you might get shielded by Invisible Woman, you copy from behind, then you know the enemies can escape. If you have the vision, go for Scarlet Witch copy. I don't think it's horrible. Spider-Man. Only if you're the GOAT. I'm putting Spider-Man in C tier for Loki copy. I think Spider-Man is clearly the hardest hero in the game. And let's be honest, if you don't have 20 hours on Spider-Man or so, you're probably better off copying somebody else. I don't have 20 hours on Spider-Man. But if you have the sick rollouts in you, you see somebody at a position, your brain does the calculations, you see the potential for a Spider-Man pick. I mean, if you're the Spider-Man GOAT, sure, it can be a good one. Squirrel Girl. B tier. If it's a tight corridor map like Midtown, I think it's called, the one that they added in season 1, the payload one, or how you call the game mode, escort one, I think. She's good. You know, like, you're just gonna do a lot of damage. The ultimate is very annoying, but I would have put her a little bit higher up. Enemies are recognizing, though, the fact that the ultimate is pretty squishy. So be careful when you copy her that you might not get the value that you expect out of a Squirrel Girl copy. If you need more damage, of course, just do that, but why not copy one of the strategists that also do damage, and you also have a defensive ultimate, and yeah, if you have a plan, go for Squirrel Girl. Alright. Star-Lord is B tier, only if you have the vision. If you're really good on Star-Lord, again, you start with the ultimate, you have the mobility available, you're just gonna be annoying overall. Might secure a teamfight win. I'm not seeing a lot of Loki players, me included, copying Star-Lord. I gotta go with other heroes that have more AoE damage rather than single target damage that Star-Lord has, apart from his E ability, which requires you to get close and personal to the enemies. But realistically speaking, you're gonna copy Star-Lord and just go in your ultimate and try to burst somebody down the backline. And you have better options if you want to do that specifically. And easier options, I would say. Like, I don't know, copy PSYLOKKE, dash in, ult, finish, dash out, and then play the game. Storm. S tier. Huge value, low risk. Even if you don't want to ult instantly with Storm, you will damage boost your enemies. I mean, your allies sometimes are your enemies, but still. You can speed boost your teammates, and then after all that poke damage that's happening, after all the buffs that are giving them, you can land a teamfight winning ultimate that is super easy to land. and just you'll see a lot of value, way more value out of Storm Ultimate than the other duelists that I've put in the tier list up until now, or maybe until I finish, even after I finish the tier list. We'll see. Definitely copy Storm, definitely, if you need more damage. Be mindful though, as I said a little bit in the first part of the video, I think, about the fact that you're removing yourself as one of the strategists from your team, so your team doesn't have that much healing. So you don't want to copy Storm when you're playing with an Adam. If you play with a Luna, maybe copy Storm. If you play Luna, Invisible Woman, Loki, oh yes, copy Storm. You have like more room to work with. You just need more damage. THOR. I'm still believing in THOR. I'm putting him in B tier only if you have the vision. I think that his ultimate can do serious amounts of damage. If you know what you're doing with this hero, and I see some players that know how to do this, you can copy THOR, and I think you'll get a lot of damage. Definitely have more teamfight winning potential than the other heroes that I listed here, because his damage is more explosive with the ultimate that can one-shot, if I'm not mistaken. I'm putting Venom in B tier, only if you have the vision. I think Venom is easier, clearly easier than Spider-Man. Let's be serious now. Clearly easier than Spider-Man. It's gonna be easy to ult, gonna be easy to swing in and stuff. If you need a little bit more tanky and want to cover distance really quick as a Vanguard, copying Venom is okay-ish. Again, only if you have the vision. Only if you know what you're doing with this hero. I'm giving you this exact scenario. Let's say you're in a neutral team fight, but you see, I don't know, Mantis on the side that just used the stun, and the enemy team has Venom. You have no divers, and Mantis is all alone there. And Venom is the only hero that it can copy to dive. Copy Venom, swing in, go for Mantis, eliminate Mantis because you have your ultimate and she doesn't have stun, and maybe she doesn't even have the ultimate. Get back to your team. You just made it a 6 versus 5. See what I mean? Like, if you feel the pick potential is there, sure. Bucky. B tier. Although a little bit higher up than the other DPSs, because whenever I go to sleep, I hear again. I wake up again. Bucky players are getting so good at this hero, and if you feel you're gonna get a lot of resets off of your ultimate, or you're gonna hook somebody to your team or to yourself and go for the kill, you have the pick potential, Winter Soldier is definitely a copy that you will not regret doing if you know how to cook with Bucky. And lastly, Wolverine. B tier, only if you have the vision. With the same mention that I said to Winter Soldier, depending on the situation, if you see the solo pick potential on somebody, like you know you're gonna get a pull onto the tank or a squishy and ult them and stuff, then maybe they can be a little bit higher up. But in general, I'd gotta put Wolverine here in a B tier, as I personally feel like these ones provide more value with less risk, you know? Like Wolverine one, if this is high risk, this is higher and stuff in my opinion. That's about it for my Loki ultimate tier list. The ones at this moment in season 1 that I would copy. Again, this is also of course biased towards my own experience with Loki and my own experience with other heroes in the game. Maybe you have way more hours on Wolverine and go like, oh, I always get kills with Wolverine and stuff. But from what I'm seeing in general situations and with other Loki players that I get in my team or in the enemy teams, this is how it's pretty much going to go. These are the ones that you go for. These are the most common ones. I'd say 80% of the copies are these ones right now that I'm seeing. These ones, if you feel like it, and you might not cook with them, you might lose the team fights. These ones call for specific scenarios and you will get huge value out of them. But if you don't get the scenario well, you will probably lose the team fight. These ones, more of a flex type of copy, you know, you just want to diff the enemies. Misclick here, you're better off copying anybody else from here. And please let me copy Loki one, because I think it would be hilarious in order to if you would be able to do so. What do you think about a tier list? Please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, ML7 out.
Hey, I'm Olaf. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. Meow.